Before we get into today's video, please make sure you go ahead and leave a like on this video to show your support. Please as well, make sure you go and comment and let me know your opinion at the end of the video. And also, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already to be up to date with all our videos as well. And please click ahead the notification button so you're notified whenever we upload. And lastly, please go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Well, the Six Nations is over, and that's the end for another year of this amazing tournament. But yeah, there's so much to talk about in today's video of the final round of the Six Nations. Yes, we know the results. Wales are victorious and are champions, which by winning the Grand Slam. But there are loads of other games to be talking about. We have Scotland v England, Italy v France, and Wales versus Ireland, as well as who my player of the tournament was. And yeah, some shout outs to you guys as well, so please stick around, there's loads to talk about. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay, so first up we are going to be talking about Italy v France. Now in my opinion this was a very, well, surprising game. I originally thought in the previous video that Italy were going to win this, and at times it looked like they were going to do that. Unfortunately though, France finished it at the end and there was too many mistakes by Italy. And yeah, it's such a shame because there's very massive potential there with Italy. We've seen it in games such as against Ireland and Wales, and in today's one as well. It's just the minor errors constantly, and it must be so irritating to be an Italian fan. And yeah, I mean, imagine if say you're an English fan and this kept happening, or a Welsh fan, it would be absolutely gutting. And I really feel for the Italians. Where they go from here, I don't know. I mean, looking at the Rugby World Cup, they would probably be targeting to at least finish third in their group, and that's the realistic target, I would say anyway. And then obviously second place would be the major target, but third place comfortably at least anyway. But the discussion is as well, we have the same every year, is it time to add a relegation system into the Six Nations? Well, I've actually done a video on that before, so if you go back on my channel and scroll through to some of the first videos I've done, you'll find that video there. And it's quite an interesting video, so make sure you go check that out. As of France, what's this tournament been like for them? Well, personally, they've played well at times, like against Scotland and against Wales. They threw it away against Wales. The English game as well, there were signs that they played amazing at times. The Irish game, again, there's signs of potential there. France have some really cool up and developing players as well. And yeah, I mean, hopefully there's a good future there for them. Going into the World Cup for France, again, it's probably the same sort of target as Italy, but I would say at least second. I mean, realistically, I can't see them topping the group. But yeah, second would be a key target for them anyway. And for the Six Nations, it's been poor for France, but there are obviously some areas to improve on. But they'll get there eventually with the youth that they have. Moving on to our next game then, which was the Grand Slam decider with Wales versus Ireland. Now this, in my opinion, was a dominant display by Wales, and Ireland really didn't turn up. I don't understand what happened there. Sexton had a very off day today as well, I thought, and the weather didn't really help. I mean, obviously to the build-up of the game there was talks about the roof being open and closed, and that's obviously always up to the away team. So would Joe Schmidt then be gutted that he didn't have the roof closed? Personally, I don't think, well, nobody actually asked this to him after the game, and I felt it kind of played a key factor to the game because it was quite poor conditions towards the end, and I noticed a few of Sexton's kickoffs as well were quite poor, unless he intended to do that, but it's not really something that he usually does. But yeah, towards the end of the game it began to become really slippery, and it showed a hell of a lot. And Ireland, I don't know what happened. Yes, they scored at the end, but that's not the Irish team that we've seen from last year. Realistically then, coming from this, what will Wales aim for in the Rugby World Cup? I would probably be saying they'd be aiming the top of the group at least. I mean, they have Australia in it, which is the main team for, well, I mean, they have Fiji as well. But yeah, I mean, those are probably the main teams that they're going to be competitive with for the top spot. But I could see Wales realistically finishing top for their group. As of Ireland, I mean, there's some massive areas for each team to improve in the Six Nations. I know a lot of Irish fans have been saying that Ireland do need to improve a hell of a lot, especially considering this is a World Cup year. I mean, I disagree with that. I feel like the tournament, this year's tournament has been quite poor for Ireland, yes. but we know what they're capable of, and they just need to get that spark back, and I'm sure they'll be good. So let's move into the next game then, which was England versus Scotland, and oh my, what a game. This is probably one of the best rugby games I've seen for quite some time, and what a comeback by Scotland. England, I think, kind of sort of folded towards the end. Yes, they scored the try to level it out at the end, but I mean, in the second half, the amount of tries that they gave away, they need to work on their defense, seriously. The attacking was really, really good in the first half, and yeah, I mean, if they had stuck at that, they could have, like, thrashed Scotland. But fair play to Scotland, they came back, and yeah, I mean, at the end, they deserved the win. It was a bit gutting for them. But one thing I didn't understand is how come Scotland kept the Calcutta Cup. I mean, if it was a draw, surely they should have shared that. But yeah, anyway, going into the Rugby World Cup, I would say Scotland would be targeting to finish either top or second. They're one of the major teams in their group, and realistically, I could probably see them getting to the quarterfinals. England then, obviously, we say every World Cup, all the England fans say that England are going to win the World Cup. I'm not going to comment on that because I feel like I might get a bit of hate. But personally, they will do well, but I can't see them winning the World Cup. Okay, so without further ado, that is going to be the end of this year's Six Nations review. Yeah, it was such a brilliant campaign. I felt a lot of teams didn't really turn up to their potential. I know Wales won the Grand Slam, but I feel they didn't play their best at times. We could have easily lost to Scotland, and they could have easily lost to France. But yeah, Ireland, I don't really know what happened to them. I mean, personally, they have so much potential. I'm sure it was just a blip, and coming into the World Cup, I'm sure they'll improve. England need improvements, I would say, but looking ahead to the World Cup, again, they're a force to be reckoned with. Scotland, after today's game, my opinion of Scotland has changed. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with as well with the World Cup, I would say, and it's going to be so close who is going to be topping that group, because I'm pretty sure it's Ireland and Scotland in that group. France, again, they're always the sort of team that we don't understand, like, we don't know what is going to turn up, we don't know what to expect with France, so there's not really a hell of a lot you can predict with them. Italy, again, I think they'd be targeting to finish at least third. Second would be a priority, obviously, as well, and it's potentially they could do it. I mean, World Cups, they have ups and downs in Rugby World Cups, Italy do, so who knows. It'll be interesting to see how these teams play out in the Rugby World Cup this year. Okay, so for my player of the tournament, I am going to say it's a cross between either, I feel like Gareth Anscombe has stepped up a hell of a lot. I would say Jacob Stockdale, I mean, that boy is improving every single year, and he really showed this Six Nations. As well as today is Finn Russell, I felt played really well as well, kind of proving that he is one of the best number 10s in the world. And another player I thought stood out as well was Tito Tibaldi from Italy. I felt he had quite a few good games, and he would probably be nailing down the scrum half spot for this Rugby World Cup. But yeah, overall, it's been a brilliant Six Nations, and yeah, I mean, as I said, I felt like the teams could have played better, but otherwise, it's been great. So before we go, I just want to give a shout out to some of these amazing fans that have been supporting my videos, especially these Six Nations ones. So this is Sean Keogh, I think he's Irish, I believe. We have Calix TB Agario, who is Italian. You've been commenting on a few of my videos now, so thank you so much for the support. We also have Morgan Dunn. Cheers for the support, mate. It's great hearing from you. Another one we have then is PLR Mystic. He's been there since the beginning, so cheers for that, mate. I really appreciate the support. And finally, we have Jack Spade, who's been commenting on a few more videos as well. And yeah, overall, guys, thank you so much for the support. These videos have been literally the making of this channel. I've gained so much subscribers from you. So yeah, thank you for the support. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. We do so many more rugby videos just like this every single week, guaranteed. So please make sure you go ahead and subscribe and click that notification button like you saw in the intro of this video. As well, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, comment, let me know your opinion, who was a standout player in the Six Nations, and what was your favourite game. Let me know in the comment section. As I said, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. I've been Andrew, and I will see you in another upload. Peace out.